On September 26, 2025, a significant event unfolded that would reverberate across the globe. France formally recognized the State of Palestine, a decision that was both historic and transformative. This move marked a seismic shift in global diplomacy, capturing the attention of nations worldwide. President Emmanuel Macron's announcement at the United Nations wasn't just symbolic. It was a bold move to break decades of deadlock over Palestinian statehood, a conflict that has long divided the international community. As a permanent UN Security Council member, France's recognition signals that the status quo is no longer acceptable, urging other nations to reconsider their positions. The French government frames this as a step for peace, not against any party, but to enable two sovereign nations to coexist peacefully and with mutual respect. Years of stalled negotiations and rising tensions have made this moment urgent. France aims to offer Palestinians hope and a legitimate place on the world stage, a chance to be heard and recognized. This recognition empowers moderate Palestinian leaders and injects new energy into a stagnant diplomatic process, potentially paving the way for renewed peace talks. For many, it's a validation of a long struggle for identity and freedom, moving the conversation from abstract possibility to concrete state building, a dream that has been nurtured for generations. France's act is more than politics. It's an acknowledgement of a people's history and their aspiration for a homeland, a recognition of their cultural and historical significance. As the news spreads, it brings renewed dignity and the belief that Palestinian sovereignty is within reach, inspiring hope and unity among Palestinians and their supporters worldwide. France's recognition was part of a coordinated wave at the UN, a significant moment in international diplomacy that saw a collective effort to address a long-standing issue. This wave was joined by the UK, Canada, Australia, and several European nations, each adding their voice to a growing global consensus. This unified front marks a turning point, signaling that the time for Palestinian statehood is now, a sentiment echoed in the halls of power across continents. Leaders argue that waiting for a final peace deal has become counterproductive. The endless delays have only served to deepen divisions and prolong suffering. Recognition is now seen as a catalyst for peace, not its reward. It is a proactive step intended to break the cycle of stagnation and foster a new era of dialogue. The move aims to level the playing field for future negotiations and give Palestinians stronger political standing, empowering them to engage more effectively in peace talks. Frustration with the stalemate and expanding settlements has driven this shift, as leaders seek to preserve the two-state solution before it's too late. The urgency is palpable, as every delay risks further complicating the path to peace. The atmosphere at the UN was electric, with coordinated announcements sending a message of solidarity and hope. It was a moment that resonated far beyond the walls of the assembly. For Palestinians, this was a powerful affirmation that their struggle is gaining irreversible momentum. It was a day of celebration, a day that brought renewed hope to a people long yearning for recognition. The collective endorsement by influential nations has fundamentally altered the diplomatic landscape, creating new dynamics and opportunities for engagement. New possibilities are opening for Palestine and the wider region as this wave of recognition paves the way for a future where peace and cooperation can flourish. Israel and the United States responded with staunch opposition, boycotting the UN summit and condemning the recognitions. Their absence was a powerful statement, signaling their disapproval and unwillingness to engage in discussions they deemed counterproductive. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu vowed never to allow a Palestinian state, calling the move a reward for extremism and a threat to Israel's security. He emphasized that any recognition of Palestinian statehood without direct negotiations undermines the peace process and could lead to increased tensions in the region. The US echoed Israel's stance, insisting statehood must come from direct negotiations, not unilateral declarations. American officials stressed that bypassing negotiations could set a dangerous precedent, potentially encouraging other groups to seek recognition without dialogue. American diplomats warned that these recognitions could destabilize the region and complicate peace efforts. They argued that a stable Middle East is crucial for global security, and that any actions threatening this stability must be carefully reconsidered. Some nations, like Belgium and Andorra, attached conditions to their support, such as the disarmament of Hamas. These conditions reflect a desire for a peaceful resolution and a stable governance structure in any future Palestinian state, and the release of hostages. These stipulations highlight the international community's concern for human rights and security in the region. This reveals the complexities even among supportive countries who want a responsible, peaceful Palestinian leadership. The diverse perspectives underscore the challenges in achieving a consensus on the path forward. The unified opposition from Israel and the US underscores the immense political hurdles ahead. Security concerns are paramount, and both nations are committed to ensuring that any progress does not compromise their national interests. And the principle of negotiated peace remains central to their arguments. They believe that only through dialogue can a lasting peace be achieved, one that respects the rights and security of all parties involved. While Palestine has gained new allies, the diplomatic battle for its future is far from over. The road ahead is fraught with challenges requiring patience, diplomacy, and a willingness to engage in meaningful negotiations. As diplomats debated in New York, Gaza's reality remained one of profound suffering. Israeli military operations have devastated healthcare, displaced hundreds of thousands, and left basic necessities scarce. Over 65,000 have been killed since the latest conflict began, including thousands of women and children. Entire neighborhoods lie in ruins, and daily life is a struggle for survival. Global outrage has sparked massive protests demanding an end to the violence. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called for a humanitarian ceasefire and unimpeded aid access. The crisis in Gaza is the dark backdrop to diplomatic moves, spurring nations to act for a political solution. Addressing this humanitarian disaster is essential for any hope of lasting peace. Beyond conflict, Palestine is a land of ancient beauty and vibrant culture. Recognition opens doors for travelers to discover olive groves, bustling markets, and sacred sites like Bethlehem and Hebron. Jericho's ancient ruins and Ramallah's rolling hills offer unique experiences for visitors. Statehood could boost tourism, making travel easier and supporting preservation of historical sites. Tourism would empower local communities, fostering cultural exchange and economic growth. Visitors can experience authentic hospitality from sharing mint tea in Jenin to learning embroidery in Ramallah. Palestine invites travelers to witness its resilience and hope firsthand. As it steps onto the world stage, its stories and people await discovery. Palestine's soul shines through its art, food, and traditions. In Ramallah and Bethlehem, contemporary art flourishes, with murals and galleries telling stories of identity and resistance. Palestinian cuisine, moussakhan, fresh hummus, and more, offers a taste of history and hospitality. Embroidery, tapestries, and the dabka dance are living symbols of cultural resilience. State recognition helps safeguard and promote this vibrant heritage. It opens doors for artists, chefs, and musicians to share their work globally. International festivals and exchanges could flourish, deepening appreciation for Palestinian life. Engaging with this culture reveals a world of creativity and hope beyond the headlines. Recognition by France and others could transform travel in Palestine. In time, border crossings may become simpler, and foreign consulates could open in cities like Ramallah and Bethlehem. This would make travel safer and more accessible, encouraging tour operators to focus on Palestine's unique sites. However, physical barriers and checkpoints remain. Travelers must stay informed and flexible. The situation is still tense, requiring respect for local realities. Connecting with local guides ensures a safe, enriching visit and supports the Palestinian economy. Visitors can witness history in the making and become ambassadors of goodwill. As Palestine forges its path, travelers play a role in its journey towards sovereignty. Despite the wave of recognitions, peace remains elusive. Core issues, Jerusalem, borders, refugees, security, can only be resolved through direct negotiations. Israel and the US remain major roadblocks, and internal Palestinian divisions complicate governance. National reconciliation between Fatah and Hamas is essential for a stable state. Ongoing settlement expansion threatens the viability of a two-state solution. International pressure must follow recognition to preserve land for a future Palestinian state. The journey from recognition to real peace is long, requiring sustained engagement and compromise. Travel is a powerful tool for building bridges and breaking down stereotypes. Visiting Palestine is an act of solidarity and a chance to learn firsthand from its people. Personal connections, sharing meals, stories, and daily life create empathy and understanding. Responsible tourism supports local economies and empowers communities. Travelers become storytellers, sharing authentic perspectives back home. This helps humanize the conflict and foster a more compassionate discourse. Peace is a collective endeavor, and every visitor can play a small part. Behind every border are people with hopes for dignity, security, and a better future.